Hello traders, this is David from Wave Trader. I want to show you a trade I took on the USdCad pair, a sell trade, and it's currently in progress. And as you can see, so I'm just going to walk you through it. So for the sake of not losing my profit because today is Friday, I'm just going to close the trade, okay? But at least you can see where I am, and I'll walk you through how I got to this point, and I'll also explain why I'm closing the trade now. Okay, so the trade is closed, but let me walk you through what I saw and how I did it. So I've been keeping my eye on the major pairs based on what the dollar index. I'll just go to the dollar index and show you. So this is the dollar index. Okay, I've been watching this, and based on what I saw, I knew that the dollar index was going to retrace to the 62 or 55% region. After this beautiful wave bottom situation, you can see the dollar index is already in motion going down to this region. Okay, so I'm thinking by next week, okay, all of next week should give it enough push to get to this region. So because the dollar index is depreciating, definitely that means the USdCad is going to depreciate as well. So I've been keeping my eye on it. So going back to the USdCad, okay, so it made sense that I was expecting a turnaround. Okay, so by going to the monthly, I will just give you a quick top-down analysis of what is going on with the USdCad. You can see that we seem to be in this is actually a fourth wave, okay, because you can see the first, second, this whole thing here is the third. So on the monthly chart, this is the fourth wave. Okay, so we are meandering in the fourth wave, and the most current candle you can see is this little blip here. Okay, so going to the weekly, this is what's going on. Okay, so you can see that we've been having a series of wave tops, but because we seem to be in a sort of a channel, these wave tops are just corrections. Okay, so we're in a sort of a rough channel, so to speak. Okay, so on the weekly, you can see here that the latest candle we have seems to be forming what looks like a hammer bar, right? And we know that the hammer bar at the end of a run is usually a reversal sign. So when you see a hammer bar on a high level chart like the monthly, the weekly, the daily, the 4-hour, usually going to a time frame below it, okay, lesser than it, will show you a wave bottom or a wave top situation. So in this particular instance, by going to the daily or the 4-hour chart, where I expect to see a wave top situation. Okay, so with all this in mind, going down to the daily chart, you can see here what looks like the beginning of a retracement. Okay, so on the daily chart, you can see that we had this wave bottom situation, okay, which ordinarily is very powerful, but because we seem to be in a channel, you can see that it's been resisted here. So this push down, okay, so even if this wave bottom is going to push us up and clear from here, what we're concentrating on is just this retracement. Okay, and I did this, okay, to get an idea where the market will go. So let me mark the 62% region. So now this is where my emphasis is. Okay, and from where the market currently is to where the 62% level is, that's 50 pips. It's not much, but it's good enough for a trade. Okay, so let's go to the 4-hour chart and see. So on the 4-hour chart, this is what I've been waiting on this trade, I believe, the whole of this week, because as at the time the market was here, I saw what looked at that time like negative divergence, that is from here and one moment, okay, to here. Okay, it looked like it was going to go down then, and I kept my eye on it. Okay, but you can see that it kept pushing up, the dollar kept pushing up until it got to this point. So unfortunately for me, when it got to this point, I still believed it was still going to keep pushing up, and I got tired of waiting. So I was looking at other currency pairs. So when I eventually got back to it, unfortunately, it had already come here. Okay, so but not to worry. What I decided to do was I knew there was going to be a retracement up, because here, let me go to the 1 hour chart so I can explain it better. So you can see that here we had negative divergence to price. Okay, and I've shown that with the lines here. So as at the time I came to this chart, the market was here. Okay, so I believe that was between yesterday and today. So I knew there was going to be a retracement. So what I did today was I took a retracement of this move from here to this point. Okay, and I was patiently waiting. Now I wasn't so sure how far it was going to go, even though this is a 62%, and I usually take my trades here at the 55. But because we have this huge divergence situation, I really thought that the market was going to push down strongly. Usually when you see a divergence situation, the market pushes down very strongly. Okay, so I wasn't really expecting it to get to the 62. I was thinking it was just going to push a little bit here and turn. So I didn't enter this trade. Okay, I waited until it got to this point. So, and I actually waited to make sure. So when it formed the railroad tracks here and turned, I I I waited a little bit longer. I believe I took this trade earlier on my phone, but on the laptop I decided to wait. So when I saw that the EMA lines had touched and crossed, that was when I got into the trade. Okay, so let me just pull up the picture here so you can see where I got in. So this is a still image, and you can see this was where I got in. Okay, just after the cross, and I placed my stop here. So throughout today being Friday, you can see that's what's causing all this. Okay, so I waited until the market was in this region. Okay, and then I moved my stop here. And as you can see, I closed my trade just before I started recording this video, because I didn't want to lose out on all my profit that I made today. So going back to the real chart now, so I got in somewhere here. I got in on the 1 hour chart anyway, somewhere here. Okay, and you can see what happened. So today is Friday, and because the brokers are balancing their books, so I actually had to close the trade, because I didn't want to lose out on the profit I made. But nevertheless, on the 4 hour chart, you can see where my profit target will take me to. Okay, so at the very least, I expect that the market should take me to this region, which is roughly the third target, okay, or the second. So I'm going to keep my eye on this chart by Monday, and hopefully get into it again, and make the trade down to this level, and hopefully further down as well. Okay, so that's my take on the USD card, and I hope that you guys have a nice weekend. Okay, and I wish you all the best. Thank you very much, and happy trading.